I never believed that betrayal could come from someone who shares your blood. Until it happened to me. My name is Isabella Hart, but most people call me Bella. And this is the story of how I lost everything. My business, my name, and my peace, because of someone I once called family. Someone I once trusted. Someone who wanted to see me destroyed. This is not a love story. It's not a fairy tale. It's a war. And it began the day my half-sister came back into my life. Maybe I should start from the beginning. Back when things were simple. Back when I still believed in trust. I grew up in a small apartment above my mother's herbal skincare store. We didn't have much, but we had love and we had purpose. My mother believed nature had the power to heal pain. Not just on the skin, but in the soul. She taught me everything I know about natural beauty, herbal science, and self-worth. But when she passed away, cancer took more than her life. It took my direction. For a long time I felt lost. But one day I found her old notebook, the one she used to write formulas and dreams in. On the first page she had written, "Beauty should be honest. Healing should be real." That was the day I decided to build Envious Skin. I started small. A folding table, second-hand laptop, cheap printer labels, and a heart full of stubborn determination. First sales were slow, painfully slow. Some days not a single order. But I didn't quit. Something in me refused to give up. Then one night, everything changed. Someone made a TikTok review of my brightening serum. Just one video. One honest review. And suddenly, orders exploded. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. My tiny bedroom-turned-workshop was overflowing with packages. People actually loved my product. My product. And for the first time in years, I felt like maybe life still held something beautiful for me. That was how I found my team. Claire was my best friend and marketing genius. She helped me build our website, branding, campaigns, everything. Marcus was a cosmetic chemist who believed in my formulas before I could even afford to pay him. Together we built something real, something honest. Envious Skin wasn't just a skincare brand. It was a message. And that's when she came back. Vanessa Hart. My half-sister. We hadn't spoken in almost 5 years. She grew up wealthy, I grew up working. She had private schools and vacations in Italy. I had night shifts and student debt. Same father. Different worlds. But Vanessa wasn't just successful. She was famous. A beauty influencer with 500,000 followers and brand deals with names I could only dream of. She was glamorous, confident, dark, and dangerous. She reached out to me out of nowhere. Sent a DM, then a call. Then she asked to meet. I should have ignored her. I should have listened to the voice in me that whispered, "Something is wrong." But I didn't, because somewhere deep in my heart, I still wanted a sister. We met at a cafe downtown. Vanessa walked in wearing designer sunglasses and a smile too sharp to be real. "Bella, look at you. A whole skincare CEO now," she said, hugging me with perfume that smelled like money and lies. I didn't know it then. But that hug was the beginning of my downfall. She said she wanted to reconnect. She said she wanted to help me grow my business. She said she believed in me. But I should have looked deeper, into that polished smile, those calculating eyes. Vanessa didn't come back for family. She came back for war. Vanessa slipped into my life like perfume. Soft at first. Then impossible to get rid of. She started coming to my studio, often, too often. She brought gifts, expensive pastries, designer notebooks, bottles of wine. She asked about my formula development, ingredient suppliers, lab processes. First, I thought it was curiosity. It wasn't. It was surveillance. She said she wanted to help me scale. Said I was thinking too small. Said Envious Skin could be huge with her audience and influence. And yes, I'll admit it, it was tempting. I wanted growth. I wanted to see how far I could go. But every deal has a price. And hers was written in invisible ink. One afternoon she came straight out with it. Bella, let me in as a partner. 40% equity. I'll take the brand global. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. 40%. Vanessa, I built this from scratch, I said. Her smile tightened. Just slightly. And I can take it somewhere you can't. Be smart. Don't be emotional about this. You need me. Those words lingered. You need me. Oh, no, I didn't. And that's when I saw it. The truth beneath the gloss. Vanessa didn't want partnership. She wanted control. So I told her no. And that's when everything changed. 2 weeks later, our supplier dropped us. No warning. No explanation. No restock of our best-selling brightening serum. A day after that, our TikTok ads got flagged and removed. 3 days later, our warehouse order was delayed, then cancelled. 7 days later, our payment processor froze our funds for suspicious activity. Coincidence? Well, habitat. Claire was panicking. Marcus was drowning in formula backlogs. Customers were screaming for restocks. And we were collapsing from the inside. Bella, Claire said one night, stress in her eyes. Someone did this. This is targeted. She was right. Someone was doing this. But I had no proof. Just when things were falling apart, Vanessa reappeared. Like a vulture circling something dying. Rough month, she asked sweetly. You know, I could still help. I stared at her. Silence. Rage building. Bella, think logically. You can't run a national brand alone. Let me come in. Let me save Envious Skin. There was the real play. Break me. Make me desperate. Then take everything. But I wasn't desperate. Not yet. And she hated that. One night I stayed late at the studio. Something wasn't right. Orders were missing. Labels switched. Product samples gone. And then I saw her. Vanessa, inside my locked office. She didn't see me watching. She was going through my formula cabinet. Taking photos. Taking samples. Taking everything she needed. I stepped out. Vanessa. She froze. Slowly she turned. Then she smiled. You should have partnered with me. She walked past me slowly. So close I could feel the coldness in her voice. I was trying to be nice, Bella. But if you won't let me in, I'll build my own brand. Better than yours. And I'll bury Envia. She walked away. But that was not the end of it. It was only the beginning. The next morning, Vanessa went live to her 500,000 followers. She didn't mention my name, but she didn't have to. Some indie skincare brands lie about being natural. They use cheap fillers from unregulated labs in China. I know because I've seen it myself. I trusted someone. And they disappointed me. Thousands of comments. Thousands of shares. People began speculating. Tagging me. Accusing me. Fraud. Liar. Fake skincare queen. Kemmer. Just like that. My reputation began to burn. And she wasn't even done yet. When Vanessa started her attack, I thought it would blow over. I thought her followers would lose interest after a day or two. I thought truth would win on its own. I was wrong. The internet doesn't wait for proof, just chooses a side. And they didn't choose me. Within 72 hours, Envious Skin lost 14,000 followers, $62,000 in refunds, 40 wholesale contracts, and every brand partnership we had lined up for the year. Beauty bloggers posted videos calling us a fake brand. Reddit threads dragged my name through mud. Twitter, no, X was even worse. Envious Skin is a scam. Another fake clean beauty loser exposed. Stop buying from this snake brand before your face melts. It was brutal, cruel, relentless. And Vanessa, she just watched. My phone rang constantly, but not from customers anymore. From banks, from attorneys, from journalists who wanted a statement. Our payment processor cut us off completely. Funds held for 180 days. Inventory rotted in storage. Production stopped. Employees started quitting one by one, until there were only 3 people left. Me, Claire, Marcus. We were broken, exhausted, afraid. It's Vanessa, Claire said through clenched teeth. She's behind everything. Why don't we expose her? I wanted to. God knows I wanted to. But we had no proof. Nothing that would hold up legally. And Vanessa knew that. Then came the final blow. She launched her own skincare brand. Lumerious Skin. Luxurious branding. Studio shot ads. Clinical claims. And the formulas. They were mine. Same texture. Same scent. Same formulas. Down to the last ingredient. She didn't even try to hide it. And what hurt me the most wasn't even the theft. It was the caption on her launch post. Created with science. Built on honesty. Honesty. From her. Made me physically sick. 2 days later I got a letter. Cease and desist. From Vanessa's lawyers. She accused me of stealing her formula. She accused me of defamation. She accused me of fraud. She sued me for $850,000. I stared at the letter for a long time. My hands went numb. My throat closed. I couldn't breathe. She didn't just want my company. She wanted my soul. That night, I locked myself in the studio, surrounded by empty shelves and broken dreams. I sat on the floor, alone, and I cried. For the first time since my mother died, I cried like a child. I cried because I had lost everything. My company, my reputation, my dream, all destroyed by someone wearing my last name. But rock bottom is a strange place. Because once you hit it, there's only one way left to go. And that night I made a decision. I would not beg. I would not cry again. I would not lose. If Vanessa wanted a war, she was about to get one. I realized something the night I hit rock bottom. Vanessa didn't win because she was smarter. She won because I was quiet. She blindsided me, dragged my name online, manipulated the narrative, and I let her. But silence is a choice. And I was done being silent. This was no longer about skincare. This was personal. This was war. And if Vanessa wanted to fight dirty, I could fight in the mud too. Before I could destroy her publicly, I needed proof. Hard proof. Evidence of theft, sabotage, fraud. Anything I could take to court and to the world. And I knew exactly who could help me. Marcus. Marcus wasn't just a cosmetic chemist. He was a scientist. He documented everything. Every version of every formula we ever created. Time-stamped and watermarked. Late that night, I drove to his apartment and showed him Vanessa's launch video. He watched quietly. Then his jaw clenched. She stole our Hydro C complex. Can you prove it? Yes. He looked at me, and I saw it in his eyes. Oh, I can do a lot more than that. Marcus ran lab tests comparing our Hero Brightening Serum and her Radiance Elixir. The results came back identical. Not similar, not close. Identical. Or formula, or process, or science. Stolen. Now I had step 1 proof. To take Vanessa down, I needed more than lab proof. I needed someone who knew what she was doing behind the scenes. Someone angry. Someone betrayed. Someone she thought was loyal. And life handed me that person on a silver platter. Her assistant, Lena. Lena DM'd me late one night. Vanessa is not who you think she is. I want out, but I'm scared. Can we talk? I met her the next day, small cafe, back table. Lena showed up wearing dark glasses and anxiety. Why are you helping me? Yes. She took a shaky breath. Because she ruined my life too. And I want her to pay. Then she opened her bag and put a hard drive on the table. Inside, emails, wire transfers, screenshots, receipts, evidence Vanessa paid bloggers to destroy my brand. Evidence she bribed suppliers to cut me off. Evidence she sent fake safety complaints about my products to get my store shut down. She framed me. She defamed me. She tried to erase me. Now I had step 2. Inside evidence. Hired a lawyer. Not just any lawyer. Sharp. Her name was Elena Graves, a corporate intellectual property attorney with one rule. If you steal someone's work, she'll steal your company. I gave her the lab reports, formula records, time-stamped files, and Lena's evidence. Elena read everything and looked up at me. We don't sue quietly. We go for her throat. A week later, we filed a $10 million lawsuit against Vanessa for IP theft, defamation, business sabotage, and damages. And we didn't file it quietly. We leaked it. On purpose. I went on camera. For the first time since everything went to hell. No makeup. No lights. Just truth. I told the world everything. How Vanessa pretended to be my sister. How she infiltrated my company. How she stole my formulas. How she tried to erase envious skin. How she lied. Manipulated. Paid people to attack me. And then I ended with one sentence. You tried to destroy what I built, Vanessa. But you forgot one thing I don't break. I rebuild stronger. The video exploded. 2.3 million views in 24 hours. And for the first time people believed me. But this was just the beginning. 'Cause now, I wanted everything. Her company. Her empire. Her reputation. Her peace. She wanted war. Now she would feel one. People think revenge is sudden. A scream in the night. A single dramatic moment where the bad person falls. But real revenge, real justice, comes from patience, planning, and unshakable focus. Comes from doing the work when no one is watching. Then letting the world see the results. We had proof. We had witnesses. We had the science and the receipts. But the courtroom is a battlefield where money can buy time. Lawyers stall and headlines blur. So we prepared for a long fight. The first hearing felt like walking into a storm. Vanessa arrived in an expensive suit, hair perfectly curled, the sort of confidence that comes from privilege. She smiled at cameras as if this were a press stunt. Her attorneys looked tired but practiced. They had spent months building a narrative. Envia was failing, Bella was reckless. Vanessa only ever wanted to help. But we had something else, the truth in black and white. Marcus testified about lab timestamps. Lena sat under oath and recounted the bribery, the emails, the wire transfers. Claire walked the judge through the timeline of social posts and sponsored takedowns. Elena Graves, our shark, presented the IP audit like a scalpel, cutting through every lie Vanessa tried to tell. By the end of day 3, the judge paused to look at Vanessa, and for the first time she looked small. Not because she was physically small, but because her machine of deceit was exposed. Contracts with influencers that promised anonymity, invoices that showed payment to shell accounts, emails that explicitly discussed the plan to kill Envia's reputation. It was brutal. It was necessary. Weeks later, the verdict landed like thunder. The court found in our favor on multiple counts: intellectual property theft, defamation, and business interference. Vanessa was ordered to pay damages, large enough to bankrupt her operations, and to surrender all trademarks, formulas, and inventory tied to Lamaria skin. There was a clause that surprised me. The judge allowed for a public restitution plan. Vanessa had to publicly confess her wrongdoing and issue corrective statements to every platform she'd used to spread lies. She read the statement on live television, her face a broken mask. It wasn't a glorious moment for me. It was a human moment. I remember feeling strange. Less like a victor and more like someone who had simply done what had to be done. But justice on paper was not enough. I wanted the world to know, visibly, that what was stolen had been returned. And I wanted Vanessa to witness the consequence of her choices. Vanessa's assets were put up for an ordered liquidation. Trademarks, inventory, studio equipment, the corporate shell that held Lamaria. All of it was up for bid. I could have let it go to creditors. I could have let banks swallow the corpse of what she built. But something inside me wanted a different kind of closure. I wanted to rebuild with my hands. To take back not only what was mine, but to convert it into something better. So, with the money from a hastily arranged investor bridge and a small loan, mostly supported by Claire and Marcus, I placed a single bid. I bought Lamaria's skin. It felt strange at first, owning the very thing that had been used to destroy me. But owning it meant possibility. It meant the opportunity to redirect every misused resource into something honest. We dismantled the parts of the company that were rotten, canceled bogus influencer contracts, destroyed unsafe inventory, severed shady supplier ties. Then we rebuilt everything from the ground up. We kept what was salvageable, laboratory tools, manufacturing capacity, but we repurposed it for good. Lamaria became a training hub, an ethical manufacturing site for small clean beauty brands. We rebranded it as Mira Collective Labs, a place where indie formulators could scale without being exploited. Vanessa's required public apologies were raw. She read the statements stiffly, as if apologizing were a script she never felt. People criticized her. Others forgave her. The court of public opinion is merciless and merciful, depending on the story people choose to believe. I did not gloat. I posted a short message. Today the court returned what was taken from me. But I'm not here to ruin anyone. I'm here to build something better, to transform harm into hope. The replies were thousands strong, some hateful, some full of gratitude. But most importantly, many were from people who had been hurt by predatory brands. They thanked me for fighting. It was enough. People asked me, after the verdict, after the auction, after the public confessions, why I didn't press criminal charges. Why I didn't try to ruin Vanessa beyond repair. The answer was simple. Revenge is not about making someone suffer for the sake of suffering. Revenge that matters is restoring balance. It's about reclaiming your life. About taking the energy used to hurt you and converting it into growth. It's about showing, not telling, that integrity wins. So I chose restoration. I offered Vanessa one last mercy. The chance to come work at Mira Collective. Not as a brand owner, but as an apprentice under our ethical manufacturing program. A way to learn what honest work looks like. She refused. And that was her choice. There are a few things I'll never forget from this war. Document everything. Your ideas exist as long as you have proof. Build with people you trust. Claire and Marcus were not just co-workers, they were family. Silence isn't safety. Speaking up with evidence is survival. Justice can be slow and messy, but it's worth pursuing. Rebuild with purpose. Don't simply replace what you lost. Improve it. My mother used to say, "Beauty is honest." I learned that honesty can be weaponized into justice, and justice can be transformed into care. Today, Envia Skin and Mira Collective coexist. Mira supports small creators. Envia focuses on community-led skincare initiatives, transparency, and a scholarship fund in my mother's name to support young formulators who can't afford lab time. I still get messages from people who were hurt by Vanessa's early campaigns. People who found their way back to our products and thank me for not giving up. Sometimes I walk into the Mira facility and touch the stainless steel table where once, under less honest hands, things were abused. Now it's a place of learning. Now it's a place of trust. I don't celebrate the fall of others. I celebrate the rise of many. If you take one thing from my story, let it be this. Guard your work fiercely. Keep records. Build gentle alliances. And when betrayal finds you, use it as fuel to build something better. Because success built from truth cannot be stolen forever. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever been betrayed, underestimated, or fought for something you love, please share this video. Tell your story in the comments. If you want more episodes like this, real stories of betrayal and comeback, subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll bring you more. And if you're a small creator or indie beauty founder, check the links below in the description. We've launched mentorship hours and a transparency guide to help you protect your work. Thank you for listening. Keep building. Keep believing.